We are back once again. It's either the Triangle Podcast, which is our original name, and then we're going to go with A Lawyer Walks Into a Bar, but I'm told there might be another claim to that name. So we may have to make a third. Yeah, somebody looked up and said they saw a podcast called A Lawyer Walks Into a Bar. The good news is it's probably such a common phrase.
Are they sure it wasn't ours? Because I've already put up a lot of...
Well, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And listen.
We're copywriting ourselves.
If we get a copyright claim and it makes news, that's the best thing that could possibly happen. And we're okay.
But did you have a third name that you were about to say?
I'm very creative.
That means no.
And it's not sexual,
it means that
his
now
voice claimed.
What I'm doing is introducing my co-hosts and our guests. And of course, the world famous poet, M.E. Langford. I won't even say the line. I'm not going to say the line.
Do it.
I'm not going to say it.
I don't want to. It's hackneyed. It's old. It's played out. It's exhausted. It's so tired.
It's a gimmick.
It's ready for bed.
Gimmick.
Oh
my
God.
It's got visions of sugar plums dancing through its head.
I'm not saying it as a part of the show, but you have to understand when we first started this. Emily, whose real name is Emily, and she's fine with using her real name. She does it in the show all the time against my best wishes and direction. Breaks character because the character that we created was a bartender who is a poet by night, but never shares her poetry. By the third episode, she hated that introduction, and I've got nothing but resistance since then. So it's been a bit of a challenge. But either way, this is M.E. Langford. And that is the fabulous Wendy Hollywood. Absolutely, certainly her real name. No question about that, because who would create a character called Wendy Hollywood? I mean, God.
Of the South Jersey Hollywoods.
The South
We're
Jersey Hollywoods.
royalty.
That's it.
Royalty.
That's it. We'll come back to that because there's a recent rap song that was called Gang Gang, West Side Royalty. Anyway, and our guest, Rick Golson.
Hi, Rick.
Olson.
Golson, right?
No.
Is that your wife's name?
Wow.
That's my wife's name.
That's your wife's name. Okay. What is your last name?
Well, I have two different last names, but for purposes of today, it'll be Rick Vale. That's my public persona.
Ricky Vale.
Ricky Vale.
Ricky Vale.
And public persona is important because he is both a musician and a magician.
Very exciting.
And I work in juvenile justice.
And we don't know which one we're going to
Maximum security. I don't know where we're going to go with that one. That's why I'm going to give you one name, and the rest of the world can have the other name.
Wait, are you like a CO?
I'm more important than that. No. So back in 1996, actually 1993, I entered the juvenile justice thing, and I was able to create a boys program in a maximum security detention facility outside Philadelphia. Mark, can I go? Is this okay?
You can
board you with background?
Yeah, go. We want to hear it.
Well, should we go back? So that's the juvenile justice part, coming out with the criminal justice degree back in 1990, blah. Back when I realized, when I saw, when I saw OJ not being found guilty, and I said, wow, that degree is not worth anything. But let me go work with, because it went against all due process and anything factual.
Oh, sure.
And then I also had a background working with kids,
If
doing
the glove
magic at a place.
Fit, you must have flipped.
And here you are, 40 years later, still remembering that.
With
30 years.
no one knows leather shrinks when it gets wet.
So you did your
Or
homework.
the fact that his hands are freaking huge. This is off the subject. I don't want to interrupt.
No.
But I met
You've
Jim
interrupted.
Brown one time when I was mayor of my hometown. Jim Brown and Patrick Ewing. Those are two of the hands, and I don't have small hands. I have more than average size
Don't have small hands.
My hand disappeared
Yeah.
in Jim Brown's hand. And I'm certain that OJ's hands are just as big.
Oh, who did I meet? Shoot. 2 years ago, Eagles player, retired, white guy.
How would you forget this?
And we can't answer it.
Miss
No.
Wendy, the
I mean,
world's biggest Eagles fan.
I could get my camera, but my hand, I'm sorry. It was so warm and toasty. But my hand was like here, and then here, and then here. Like his hand could have taken over my whole entire body.
Catcher's mitt.
Yes.
Love
Yeah,
that for
put your
you.
hands into a catcher's mitt.
I was, oh, by the way, This is what I wanted to say. You got your 4 inches.
Dum-dum-dum-dum.
Oh, because of the snow?
Yep.
Oh, got it on the first try. Well done. Well done on the first try.
That wasn't pre-planned?
No.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The question was, the answer was not. But that's very good.
It's a
That's very
callback to something that I might have already cut out of an episode.
No, we can't cut
And
that
so
out.
now I have to put it back
Yeah,
in for
you gotta
this.
put
You got your 4 inches.
Up my way was 6 inches, but Mark wasn't there.
Aww.
I don't know how I even
Up
get
in
it.
Central Jersey.
Sorry,
kind of
we're so
podcast
off
is
topic.
this?
We're so off
This
topic.
is I've been gone for 2 weeks, and so I'm rusty, and so this is now the most chaotic opening ever. But
It's the best kind.
I
messed up the guest's last name. I can't just say it.
well, you really led the charge, so I'm just following.
My name is David Copperfield.
Hi, David.
David Copperfield.
You didn't do your homework, Mark.
Rick Blaine.
Ricky Blaine.
That's it.
Ricky Vale.
So welcome, Ricky Vale.
go.
So
I want to get back to the juvenile.
Yeah, we're gonna finish the story. We have a really hard
Yeah.
time of finishing guest
We do.
stories.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, if you think about life comes across crossroads, and you come and you know, two roads diverge upon a yellow wood, and I chose the one less traveled by. So I probably misphrased that.
that was
No,
beautiful.
the-
It was beautifully referenced.
It was
Beautifully
wonderful.
referenced.
So crossroads happen all throughout life. But when I was, since I am the guest, I was in college. I never saw a magician growing up. Never saw a magician. So this is going to come together.
Okay.
My father is a musician, so I'm a second generation entertainer. And my father played on Dick Clark back in the day, back in Philadelphia. He played with Benny King. He backed up those guys when they were up and coming. And I think my parents said, no matter what happens, we don't want another entertainer in the family. So they said, you have to go to college. Makes sense because there's no pension when you're a musician growing up. But father did a great job keeping a roof over our head. He's 85 years old. He's actually he's teaching right now, which today.
Oh, that's awesome.
Today's Monday. Yeah, he teaches every night, 3 to 10. Has a guitar shop out in Bucks County. So he's still working. But there they were saying, all right, you're going to college. You're not going to live this lifestyle. So I go off to Westchester University, criminal justice major because I couldn't pass accounting. The second time I couldn't pass accounting either. So it was like, all right,
Well-
let's do something that involves reading and thinking.
I asked
So-
for extra help.
I asked for extra help and it still didn't work. So the English wasn't going to pay the bills as an English
it doesn't.
major. So let's go to criminal justice. That involves reading and thinking and everything else.
Why don't you just go into art history? Because that pays the
Because
bills.
then I could end up being a bartender and still hoping to get a job. I don't know. That would be hard. Art
Excuse me.
history
I'm calling-
/ bartender.
I'm calling for a timeout because that was a pointed dig, and I hate you so much. I started in art history.
Regardless of the truth or veracity of the suggestion
Yes.
in your comment, she hates you now. So.
But no, she hates me. But you know what? I didn't know you started out as
Yeah,
art
we've had this
history.
conversation. We've known
Then
each other
it
for 10
blacked
years.
out in my mind.
You knew me my entire college career.
I blacked it out.
But what
Like
was your major when you
childhood
finished?
trauma.
When I finished, it was radio, television, and film.
And here you are doing radio, television, and film.
Absolutely.
There you
Now,
go.
who wants to talk about Vermeer? Okay.
I will
and
after the podcast because nobody else ever wants to hear about that.
Just in case for viewers, I'm holding her hand because we never get to sit together, and
No.
so I've decided we're snuggling.
We're happy.
So ignore this.
it's also
or don't.
it's also 16 degrees outside.
It is. We're huddling for warmth.
Yes.
See, I wasn't going for that at all. I was going for the unspoken suggestion.
That we might be lesbians, but we're not.
Intimacy. He
I
was
was
thinking
going
of.
for art lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
That's
art.
what she
This
said.
is art. This
See?
is
You
art
see?
right
This
here.
is-
This is art.
But do you
right here.
appreciate the play on words? Art lovers. It's a play on words.
Is it?
Never mind. Anyways, you do community justice, huh?
So accountant didn't work out.
You're a magician and a musician,
I have to
but
drink-
you want to talk
Yeah,
about
did you get a
juvenile
drink?
justice.
Drink some
Well, sure,
cyanide.
let's talk about juvenile justice. Because that's what I didn't do for a living for the last 30 years.
I was gonna
and
say,
I'm
because
desperate to
that's-
talk about.
yes,
Yeah,
please.
let's do that.
All right, so you finished college, and while in college internship, I was a DARE instructor. Remember back in the day when they thought DARE would actually work?
Yes.
Now it's just legalize everything.
You know what?
You know,
Weed is
everything's a gateway
weed
drug.
is a gateway drug.
Yeah. To
What
be
is-
fun.
So a DARE instructor back in the day, and at the same time, I had stage fright. Took a public speaking class in college. Saw my first magician at the community college. I'm like, what was that all about? Well, I wasn't a kid who needed friends. If I had friends, it was good. Like I didn't have to win anybody over. There was no one there out there to sit there and say, "Oh, like me." Like, look, you either like me or don't. I don't know what to tell you. So it wasn't tricks to
I have
engage
a question
people.
right
no, I
there.
love
Yes.
that.
And there's a purpose to this question. How tall are you?
6'1".
And you're probably more than 175 pounds.
I was born that at birth.
176.
That was
to be
at birth.
exact.
And the reason I ask this question because a good-sized guy like you is always welcome somewhere, isn't he? There's always somebody
I'm always
who ain't that big who would like to have a big friend, isn't it?
Always prepared for a fight, but never had to do one.
Because
Big guys don't have to fight.
Right.
big guys
Right.
generally don't have
They
to
just
fight,
don't have to.
right? And if they
Right.
do, they have to fight other big guys, and there's rules to that.
I was as big as the teachers in high school.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
So,
There you go.
yeah, 6'1", 195. Played for Neshaminy High School outside Philadelphia. We were state champs, but I don't even know if I was good because everybody was great.
Did you score 4 touchdowns in a single game, though?
Not as a defensive end.
Okay.
And this is from a woman who actually knows sports, which I think she's trying to bait you into
I'm
talking
Al
about.
Bundying.
Oh, there you go.
Al Bundy.
See, I missed
Poke
it.
high.
I'm sorry. There you go.
Well, blew the knee out in high school, but I was a dare instructor at one point. So I did that, and I went over to
Did you have the cool car?
no.
Oh,
With
we
the
had,
deer on the side?
So
Yeah.
it was like an IROC or something.
My parents worked for a living. I was the son of a
No,
musician.
but you're no, but
I was lucky to have
in,
a car.
in
The
our
police are
in our
supposed to own
town.
it.
Yeah, the
The police
police
own
own
this
it,
car,
but you
but
could
it says
probably
Dare
drive
on
it
it.
around. It says
Oh.
Dare in a really cool bitchin' IROC.
or just be the guy in the dog suit. Like that would be the
would
McGruff
be-
crime fight.
I
That
don't
would be
think
cool,
I'm
too.
properly remembering our dare.
Because you lived in the Philippines.
No, I had dare in Kentucky. I went to elementary
you
school
also
in
live in
Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Yeah, I went to elementary school until I was 13. I lived in Louisville.
Louisville.
We're getting through my lore slowly but surely. It's been a multi.
Tune in next week. To
Yeah,
hear
tune
more.
in next
And-
week to find out more.
and
But it's
We'll hit the relationship.
And we have
next week.
reasons that the story has to roll out slowly because we
it's
have
a lot.
and we have a
We have a guest I'd rather
We
be
have
talking to. But I am curious about the dog suit for Dare.
that's
Yeah, there was a
McGruff the
dog.
crime- McGruff the crime dog.
Oh, McGruff, that's what that's from.
Yes.
But you know they did not have a McGruff suit that fit him, so he can't be the crime dog.
Right.
Hold on. So somebody was just in a full I'm imagining a full
Yes,
like
but that
latex
person was
gimp
not
suit.
6'1".
Not latex,
No,
like
naked-
a,
person
like
was
naked
a,
inside the
like
suit.
he's like a fluffy or like what furry.
A furry
Oh
suit.
my god!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
It's Dare's fault, not Disney for all this
It
shit.
is. Dare started the fluffy
In
the
full
the furry
support of
movement.
the furry community, by the way.
So
But
who is the
still,
market for this podcast?
I'm not
Everyone,
sure
anyone,
this one.
anyone
I
who
am
will
not
stick
sure
around
this
long
the
enough.
furries and the fluffers.
I
That's
make
it.
stuff for me because that's who I am and that's who I
Well, that
care
makes
about.
sense to me.
Mom, don't watch this podcast.
Yeah, don't worry.
So you were saying that you got into criminal justice somehow.
Criminal Justice became a dare instructor at the same time. Worked at a place called Sesame Place Park. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Pervert.
Ironically, owned by Anheuser-Busch. So it's more like the ironic thing is it's backed by one of the major alcohol
Providers,
providers in the whole entire world.
What does that tell you?
But
You need to be drunk to work at Sesame Place.
do they serve alcohol there? I don't remember.
Oh, but I bet you there's a lot of pre-gaming.
Yeah, no, there's flags.
Yeah, I saw
There's
those. I saw those
flasks all
people
over
kicked
the
out of the park. So I was there, and I'd be performing magic there. Started teaching the Dare program. The kids are like, "You're the guy from Sesame Place." I'm like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "You're the guy from Sesame Place." Combined the two things together. Talked about how life can come into the crossroads, or do what you're going to do when it comes to diverging. And I put together a drug and safety magic show. That used the DARE curriculum, but also went into juvenile justice because there's a thing called health insurance and security. So I'd be touring the tri-state area through the, 90s, doing a drug and safety magic show, as well as also working maximum security, maximum security juvenile, where we get all the fun kids.
Yeah.
How old are those kids on average?
If you lock those children up in the state of Pennsylvania between over the age of 10 and up to the age of 18, however, it can be extended up to the age of 21. So
What the hell does a 10-year-old do?
To get
Be a
locked
max.
Threats. The one kid put a knife up in a cabinet so the knife would fall out and hit his mother when she went to open the mischievous stuff that results in limbs and things
just
like
innocent fun.
that. Well, it depends on where you're from. But back then, starting out, See, crime's changed over the years. If you really
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
about the way it's developed. Well, back then it was more violence. But maybe when you were in school, you had that kid who disappeared for, he did something wrong and he disappeared for 3-4 months. You
'Cause he
wonder
was
where he
locked
went,
in the
and nobody
closet.
knows where they went. And they came to my place out in Bucks County. The cool thing about Bucks County is you get the Philadelphia criminals who bleed over to try and do their thing, juvenile criminals, and the kids from Trenton who come over there and try and steal a car, but they get caught in Bucks County, and then you end up with a maximum security lockup. So I went from the happiest place on earth, Sesame Place, with kids smiling and parents doling out money and having a blast and seeing all the characters, to going to maximum security detention, which is against everything they want. They're locked up, taken away from their families. So to the most miserable place on earth, which was a nice balance, because if you only have one or the other, you're not in reality.
So what's the common denominator of the kids in the two places? Is there one?
They're still just kids.
They're just kids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. If you want to blame anybody, you can blame with parents. You blame the parents because you go with second generational dysfunction, third generational dysfunction. And really, what are we going to do with these kids in the future? And things are changing, and they're changing rapidly. If I got on that soapbox, I mean, we spend more time in cyberspace than we do personal space.
Thank you
Agreed.
so much.
Yeah.
I
There's
just-
that new bullying. It's 3 letters, and they bully kids into killing themselves.
It's right.
Yeah. That's not. I don't think that's new.
Well,
But it is
to
one
us, it would be.
specific group
Oh, okay.
that it's like
I don't know.
We'll
Well, let's
our-
not advertise for them.
we'll have
We don't
our-
need
no,
to
we don't
remember.
like them.
We
We'll
don't
have
like-
our extensive research group go find that. But in
Yes.
the meantime, I see where you're going from. What I'm going to throw out is I just came back from a trip to LA where I saw my 6-year-old grandson,
Mhm.
who is bright, funny, smart. He and I did not have a fist fight this time.
The 6-year-old.
Oh, we have a fist fight every time,
Love.
right?
Sure.
Because he's my child.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So when I walk in the room, he's like, okay, that's the biggest guy in the room. Let me go punch him in the
See,
nose.
that's cute. I like
Right?
that.
That's
a
He's
little- that's a
having a
little
fist
mark.
fight with you.
Yeah, he's
You're not
a
having a fist fight with him. Let's
he
put
has
it
a fist
that
fight,
way.
right?
He
But I-
wants it to
Went
be
to LA,
known
saw my grandson
that he
beat the
has
shit
the
out of him.
biggest dick in the room.
That's my grandchild.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mentioned it because something you just said, when he was not eavesdropping on the adult conversation or picking a fist fight with me,
Mhm.
he spent all his time on a tablet.
He's gone. He's checked out.
Checked out. If it isn't tablet or chicken McNuggets, you can't get his attention.
You'll get my attention with some chicken
I
McNuggets.
was
That's
just-
for
And
sure.
then all of a sudden, the tablet's not available. Mom is aware of the limits of this. And so every now and then she makes the tablet unavailable and you get an entirely different child. So I'm picking up on your point that things are changing. And I'd love you to talk about that a little bit. What's the difference between the 16-year-old you get today and the 16-year-old you got 10 years
Can I
ago?
interject
Yes.
just for 1 second? So one of my best friends, she will not have her children on any kind of tablet, internet when they are home. They are
Good.
doing creative things. Go in the basement and play. Go, hey, here's a craft. And I think it's easier for parents to say, here,
Absolutely.
And
it
that's-
is.
and
Yeah.
mind numb these children, then have them
Absolutely it is.
creatively think and be what they are, fucking children.
Right. And then they're surprised when the children lack discipline, lack respect, lack a concept of consequences. Because if you grow up, and this is not just this generation, my own children who are in their 30s grew up playing video games, and you can push a button and reset and restart. And as a criminal defense attorney, when I get 17-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 25-year-olds, I'm like, you killed somebody. Yeah, but nobody's going to come to court and talk against me. Bro, they absolutely are. No, they're not going to do it. In their mind, they think it's just push a button.
yeah.
Now put
and a
put
restart.
COVID on top of that, in which we've had the retardation of America, and you can use that word appropriately because apparently everybody wanted to make that go away.
Wow.
The growth was retarded by anybody who was between the ages of blank and
Yeah,
blank. So if you have a 7-year-old, they're now operating like a 5-year-old. They've missed 2 or 3 years of development because of COVID, and they're still missing it now. And you'll see this the studies come out in the future, because I'm seeing the results of it without the studies right now. I can tell. You can see with the kids. You ask, what did it all start off with? Back in the 90s, kids would have fist fights, and a good old fashioned fight, kick the hell out of each other,
And it's over.
and it's over. You don't see fights anymore.
I had
Now you're bringing guns to a fist fight.
You do. My absolute best friend is a high school teacher. There are fights every day, and
Really?
most of it is over social media.
Well, yeah.
That I agree with that. And most of those kids that are fighting on the same kids every day. And by the way, once they get kicked out of that high school, guess where they go? They come to me. I get them after they do the high school thing.
And when they're adults, they come to me.
And yeah,
Correct.
That's true. And what we also have is we have the data. I have the data. I didn't bring it with me. The data is there are less assaults, but the assaults now are more violent. So you're saying fights every day, which I would say back in the 90s, there was a lot more fights that were acceptable.
And it's more, but
even
it's
early
more
2000s.
It's more girl fights, because a girl will talk about someone's boyfriend or your boyfriend kissed me. What the stupid girls need to realize is don't fight the girl, fight the man.
No, you gang up.
Yeah.
The girls
That's
are
the best
becoming
part.
more like the boys of 10 years ago. And the boys are becoming much more like psychopaths.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know,
or sociopaths
Or maybe that's
by
the
definition.
Yeah.
word. Maybe that's the word I was looking for.
and that. You know, I'm not a professional in any of this. I'm just a
But we
bartender.
are- we
We're
are,
bartenders
because
Also, my
we deal with this.
my excuse me, my boyfriend is a teacher, a middle school, high school teacher. So he's also he'll come home with just like since COVID, it's exactly that where it's like he'll not at the school he's at now, but at another school that he was working at just prior to, or just when everything was coming back online. Remember him coming home and just like putting everything down and looking up at me and being like, "We're fucked." That's what he said. He was like, "We're fucked. They're fucked. We're fucked. Everything's fucked." They don't.
And just for the record, he's not a little guy.
My boyfriend? No, not at all.
He's quite tall.
No, he is. But I mean, yes, he is. I don't know what this has to do. Just because he's not.
Because
Oh yeah,
he's-
the
He
intimidation.
has a
powerful.
He's a very- yes.
commanding presence in a
Extremely.
room of
Extremely.
children, and he still sees it as a discipline problem and a challenge.
I don't know when he. It's not discipline, sure, but just in terms of the just being on a screen of your own volition, and then add COVID on top of that, and then having zero socialization.
Well, then you also
Is
have
just
you're impeding the fact that some townships or school districts, oh no, the student doesn't have to be faced on the computer.
right. Well, they're not there.
Yeah, because they're not doing anything.
They're gone. They're not even sitting
This is
there.
fascinating to hear regular people's points of view.
Yeah.
No, and
But
my
the point of
teacher-
view is much worse than all
I'm
that.
sure you're. Well, you see.
But we're sitting here holding kids accountable, but you're accountable just as much as
Of
anybody
course.
else. But we can say
Well, I
of
don't
course,
have
but not
kids.
we
do
don't have
anything
children,
about
but
it.
yeah.
Because when you talk about how kids have checked out, if they've checked out before in the 2000s, then you put COVID on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have their devices, and now we've made a gateway drug for marijuana. We've made a gateway drug also for alcohol. We're making a gateway drug for anything that comes down the pike. They're saying that's okay. We have that over there. So now we have the outside influences of drug and alcohol. Now we've got a 50% divorce rate or more, and now we have the breakdown of the family system. So we have no family system going in place. We have moms trying to do the roles of a nature nurture. Moms can't do it on their own. Moms can do it up to about the age of 11, 12 if you go with nature nurture theory.
Say that right there. Say that right there. This is-
Moms can do the job, nature nurture. So if mom, as I've worked with counselors, mom will provide the vessel, the boat. But
Let me just break it for a second, because this is the
ahead.
fact that I give people all the time. If the divorce rate is 50%, that means half the children in the country are going to bed at night in a house where one of their natural parents is not present, and 90% of the time, it's the dad.
okay, and when they're not present, they're also not present. Because if you took a picture of Norman Rockwell right now, and you want to do that picture of him sitting there at the table doing his painting, right now you'd have you on a device, dad on a device, and a TV playing in the background while I'm sitting there on a device. No one's checked in. Everyone's checked out. No one's
If
checked in.
all the people are there,
If
they're
they're-
not dialed in.
So
And I'm going I don't want you to lose point, because the reality is that in most houses, that parent isn't even physically present. There's a reason that I fly 3,000 miles to see my grandson, and his mother flies him 3,000 miles to see me. And after 6 years, he's 5.5, so coming up on 6 years, he recognizes me as an authority figure just because I'm consistent.
and present.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, in my family, when we do family dinner, TJC and NBC, my brother and sister-in-law, there are no devices at dinner. You do not bring
That's fair.
You don't bring a phone, a tablet, nothing. And these are like 20-something-year-old kids. They're glued to TikTok. They're glued to Instagram. But there are no devices, and we talk for 2 straight hours, and it is nothing but fun and entertainment. And I think more families need to do that instead of shifting away to, I don't feel like talking to him. Take a tablet.
Well, let's go even further with that. So we have the devices checked out. We have the parents checked out. We have a parent who's only 50% in the house, and when they're there, they're also checked out on the device. So they're only 25% there. And and if you go back to societal norms of families raising children, that was that was great. Yeah, I mean, the downfall of churches. We'll go with that. Downfall of families as well. So let's slow it down. Just look at it for a second. We've checked out with the drugs. We've checked out with the alcohol. We've checked out with our devices. So we really need to look at root causes. Like, where do we go next? And I don't know where we go next, because every time we turn, there's a new opportunity to not be invested. And also, you're not going to develop empathy or sympathy when you're looking at a device. And Mark sees it when they go out there and they say, oh, somebody's actually going to show up and go against me on this. I just killed 3,000 people on a video game. And here you are, you're worried about this one guy I ganked, one guy I killed. Come on now.
Yeah, my friends on the street will get him before he gets to the courthouse.
Right, right. So it can be scary, and I want to give hope. But what we have to do is adjust and figure out root causes. Now, I did want to go back to with the devices. This was interesting. This is where you can take this home, or take this to your boyfriend who's the teacher. Or I'm seeing the same way you go through the withdrawal from devices is very similar to heroin. And I've had kids on probation who have now violently attacked their parents because they said, "No, what? I wasn't raised on a device, but I'm taking away your phone." You take away a kid's phone. Watch. I've seen that. Watch the withdrawal that happens. Watch the same exact things that an addict goes through when they go through the withdrawal and the pleading and the bargaining and the begging. And then they go to extremes to try and break the rules or sneak or try and backdoor it through another device.
And how old is the kid we're talking about in this case?
I can tell
range. Give me a range.
Probably like
14 to 16. 14 to 16, enough where they're able to violently act out against the parent who takes away the device, thinking, well, the device is the problem. I'm cutting you off from your friends. You're no longer cutting them off their friends. You're cutting them off from their lifeline. You're cutting them off from their social, from their social
literally
intelligence.
Their social status is threatened by non-access.
But you've cut them off from everything.
So the colors, the swiping, the what videos they're watching, kids like those unboxing videos. They like all those things. It's dopamine. You took away their dopamine. That's why it's.
But what I can say too is, as friends, and I'm sure your Mr. Sexy knows too, parents will say, well, my kid needs a phone in school because what if I need to get a hold of them?
Which is such
well,
bullshit.
You stupid asshole. You're my age. What did you do when you need to get a hold of your parents?
And for the 10,000 years before that.
You went to the office, you went to the nurse, and you called your parent, or your parent called the school or the nurse, and, miraculously, you got a hold of them.
In the wake of the events that happened over the weekend?
Again.
And a couple of things happened over the weekend.
And that happened over every weekend,
but
over
that
and
may
over and
be
over
also,
and over,
that's also a part of the internet and the ready availability of everything that goes on in society right now.
And going back to just maybe a few things, I just want to
bring me back to the 1800s. I want a horse and carriage.
The medicine wasn't so good in those days.
We don't want that.
Yeah, the medicine. The medicine was.
What 1800s mark?
Yeah.
Have a great time.
All right. How about we go after Prohibition? How about that one?
After Prohibition?
Yeah.
So here's my thought. You're gonna say something. Go ahead.
I was. I not to be like the person that puts like one blanket thing over it, but I think it's become one blanket thing because it gets so readily like shoved aside of like, oh yeah, of course, and then nothing's done about it. In terms of, I do want to hear more about your opinion of marijuana as a gateway drug, just because I'm curious about that. All due respect, because you're a professional and I'm not, I kind of thought that was now, as far as just marijuana is concerned, an outdated kind of idea.
Well, it's just the outdated one currently. So why not legalize whatever's next? I mean, Prozac's legal.
You know,
and that's the thing.
So if
I think those are way more dangerous than pot.
But that's your opinion on what we're looking at is not based upon your bias. It's based upon what's another thing to check out.
And I agree. So I think it's breads and circuses right now.
It's always bread and circuses.
It's always been bread and circuses in terms of checking out, and I do think that's absolutely. As far as I was keeping tabs while everyone was talking. As far as the divorce rate and having the absence of a parent being, I'm sure
physically
it is.
present in the home.
I grew up with an absent parent.
Mm-hmm.
It made me much. Again, these are just. I know I have certain privileges that others don't, but when I think of the people in my family, past and present, of people that I know of, sometimes the presence of both parents isn't
Maybe worse.
Great.
So let's stop
So
right there
like
for a second.
my grandparents stayed together their entire
Let's stop
lives,
right there for a
and
second. The issue is this.
wasn't great.
A man can teach a girl how to be a person, but he cannot teach a girl how to be a woman.
Can you expound upon that for me?
Absolutely can. And a woman can teach a boy how to be a person, but she cannot teach a boy how to be a man. I submit to you. I have 2 boys that I raised myself, and I cursed both their asses out last night. Okay? Because they spend more time accepting their mom's coddling and disassurance, if that's a word, right? Their mom is the kind who the sky is always falling, and so you shouldn't do anything. And I'm like, dude, how many storms have you seen me walk through? And I'm still here, right? All you can do for anybody is model for them. But I believe psychologists will tell you the most confident girl is the girl who is confident of her father's love. And the most confident boy is the boy who's confident of his mother's love. Has to be cross, and there has to be both if you want a whole person.
Where the hell do you
That's
think I
the
came
issue.
from?
Well, that could be old school, but also to
It-
ask a mother to change role from nurture into being the guidance.
I-
and the kids are confused. Like, Mom, you
Yeah,
love me, but
I-
now
this-
I need a foot up my bottom.
This is my
It's a
point.
different
It's
kind,
not.
but
It's,
a different
it's not
limit.
old school at all. It's just a biological fact. We are mixtures, and we only respond when we are fully developed in both our personas. I don't want to have to go all the way into Carl Jung and the hidden anima or animus in each of us, the opposite person that we never even freaking face, which is always of the opposite gender of our biological gender.
I love you and agree with you. However, Carl Jung, that kind of thing, would actually start to change when you look at pop psychology. Sigmund Freud is no longer relevant, but yet he's the foundational thing of all.
Which is why I reference Jung and not Freud.
Well, I appreciate that, but now you have like the Anthony Robbins and the cognitive behavioral therapy, which is now dialectical behavior therapy, which starts to change. And this is boring.
It's not boring. It's not boring.
On the podcast.
Listen,
So psychology changes with people, or do people change psychology?
So here's-
or does
No,
psychology actually change the
Psychology
person?
changes throughout, I want to say throughout the years.
I mean, I think it's like
Like
any
something like
science.
Pavlov's dog
As
is
people change.
still relevant because
Oh yeah,
if
go
you-
there. That's yes.
if
Okay,
you,
I got that.
If you want an action to change, you reward the action that you want to be changed. Now with
positive reinforcement.
yes.
Thank you for that.
Now,
Yeah,
if
good
you
point.
want, see now someone like Pavlov didn't have social media. He didn't have the internet, so you have to not conform, but change to current technology.
So I would also say that I think science evolves, as is the process. That is the scientific process. We change as we learn, as we grow.
I trust the process,
But also, if it's something that's psychology, that going back to my other thing that I was going to bring up as far as mental health goes, people don't talk. People don't have access. The science will grow the more we learn, but we have to learn more which
because
is
they're
hard to
on their
do.
phones and
Sure.
tablets
So let's
all
talk
the
about that.
fucking
no.
time.
Yes, fine. But also people are using it to get cheaper mental health
Let's talk
because
about
it is
that.
out of control
Let's
in this
talk about that.
country
'Cause
to
I-
try and get it at all. And maybe we wouldn't have so many children
Let's
in max
think about it.
incarceration or
Here's the thing.
or
Here's the thing.
divorces or
Here's what greed has driven us to. Okay? We are all human beings. We have the same biological design. We are a series of electrical impulses pushing chemical connections to result in synapses firing. That's all we are. But if you attach an emotion to a gender or the color of color of skin, or being tall or short, or being left or right, or being Green Bay Packers or Philadelphia Eagles, you can get one human being to kill another human being that he never even met before. That's what makes human beings both fantastic and terrible. And we now live in a time where there is no governing policy for inciting those violences. That's what he's talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And because this is the theme of the show, I submit that's what you see in your bar every time a guy comes in pissed off about anything.
There's a
He's
theme
this far.
for the
There's
show?
all- you didn't know?
No.
Oh,
don't
oh,
worry.
I should have told you.
by episode.
But that's
No,
why
there's always a theme. A lawyer, a lawyer walks into a bar.
someone didn't
Hold on.
shut their phone off.
Everyone,
Shame.
nobody say anything fun so that we have space to cut.
We're good.
And we're good.
But
We don't cut anything here. We cut everything.
I'll be cutting.
no, she cut the 4 inches out, which pissed me off.
I didn't. It's
no.
not even out yet. I'll put it back in.
But anyway,
I'll put that 4
but
inches back in
here's
for you.
here's thank you.
This is democracy.
Put it right up.
This,
Put it
this
right
is
up in there.
democracy. We get to talk about that stuff.
But so there's a thing, and it's called an angel shot. If you go to a bar
Wait, where?
and
okay.
and somewhere you don't know.
No,
about
I
this?
do. I was
Okay.
wondering how we're getting from A to B, but I love it.
So
And this is important
there
for people to know.
If there is someone, man or female, or male or female, that is bothering you, harassing you, and you feel uncomfortable, you ask the bartender for an angel shot. If you want to leave and you feel like this man, woman, they, them, it doesn't matter, whoever it is going to follow you. You ask the bartender for an angel shot. The bartender will call the police and safely escort you or have someone escort you out to your car and make sure that you are safe.
Yeah, there's different levels of it.
and
but
that's awesome.
yes. So that's
Because, and I'm going to go on another tangent. You know, when I was dating, my mom thought it was crazy that I wanted to take my own car.
I know bartenders who don't.
Why do you want to take why don't you want him to pick you up here? Number one, I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
He don't even need to know where I live.
I don't know exactly. I don't want him to know where I live. And if I feel uncomfortable, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, you need to have your
I'm
own.
slapping 50 on the table and saying I'm going to the bathroom and exit stage left.
I don't think this will shock you at all. I am a grown man and have been for 50 years.
No.
I always drive my own car.
Well,
That's even when I'm out with the boys.
But
And you know
that's-
what? I'm
Because
done with
when you
y'all.
wanna leave,
I'm
you wanna
leaving.
leave.
I'm
you
leaving.
want to leave, you want to leave.
I wanna
That's
leave.
diff- Jesus Christ.
Well, it's actually, I'm going to submit to you.
Submit,
exactly
Submit.
the same.
Submit to her.
Don't get excited.
I wasn't.
Somebody was. I'm not sure.
I just realized I
It might have been
Rick.
No, that's okay. All right.
My
Okay,
hand
'cause
required
you
attention.
did
I need an
dwell on
angel
the
shot.
submit part. But it's exactly the same thing. As a grown man who deals with some of the most
Murders,
difficult,
rapists, everybody
yes.
who's been kicked out of any school,
Okay.
they come to us. Yeah.
The reason that I go to their bar restaurant is it's the place that I'm least likely to run into my clients. Because if a 22-year-old bar guest decides that I'm the old man at the bar that he wants to pick on, I'll forget that I'm not 26. And then it's a problem. And I'm not saying I win that fight. I'm just saying I find myself in a fight I'd rather avoid.
You'll be very winded.
Well, no, I'm
You'll
going
be
to kill
resting in the
somebody.
street.
No,
But
it's
you'd
really
also-
not like
but
that.
you'd also
What's
have-
left of me is going
Right.
to kill somebody, and then I become my own damn client.
Right.
Nobody wants that.
But you'd also
No
have a
woman
bunch of
wants it.
people that would be like, Mark, calm down. We'll kick him out.
respect in your place, true.
Mm-hmm.
In the local Fridays, maybe not. 45th Street Club, pub, no chance.
Definitely not.
Jay's Elbow Room, there are going to be bets on the fight,
That's true, and
Yeah.
that is fun. I
right?
do like
So
that.
I go where I'm safe, but safety is a matter of avoiding the problem.
So really, are we less safe than we were in the past?
Absolutely.
Correct.
I don't know about that.
The
think
reason
so.
I'm going to say we are is this, right? In the past,
Are we more aware?
I
Or are
think
we actually less safe?
I don't
and
think
that-
people
so
are
if
aware.
this,
There's
but
more
this is
surveillance.
my
More
point.
paranoid, yeah.
You're making my point. In 1800, it's tribal. In 2025, everybody knows what the deal is. And so if you put yourself in a situation, it's not tribal. It's not,
No, there is
social
no tribe
norms.
anymore. It's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's no social norms. There's no group punishment or what do you know,
Accountability?
accountability. Right. Now it's just push reset.
But you want to get great video out of it. I'm going to post that shit.
You understand my
I
point?
get to put I'm going to video.
But
this.
it-
I'm going to
it-
record you in that.
You understand
It
my
doesn't
point.
take a village anymore.
In
Yeah,
fact,
but it should.
They want to
should.
silence the village. They want it to be a global community of gawkers with no accountability.
So I always think of, in terms of the village, because I think as the youngest person here, I think I was the last person that kind of had the village, because they certainly don't have it now. But I remember, what your household was like. You know what your household was like. You know what your household was like.
And all the friends on my block. I know what every one of their houses is like.
Yeah, and you knew when they were weird, and you know when you're weird, and you know your stuff. But you know that as soon as you exit your front door, you are now in society. In society, there are norms. In society, there are rules. No, you can't run around like that. No, you can't make fart noises while during the service at church. You can't do this. You
Yeah,
can't
but
do
it
that.
makes a great
And
TikTok
you-
video if you do.
But I
But
know.
it didn't then.
But you
But now- yeah,
you didn't
but now it
need.
does.
I didn't need my mom
you-
looking at me like you.
Oh, you
shut
got the
fuck up.
look.
You got the
You
look from
got the look.
everyone. You got the look from everyone, and you knew. Yeah, when I go to my friend's house, this is how we act over there, and that's fine. When you come over to my house, here are my individual rules. Every house has its individual rules, but the society, but the world, but your community at
But
large.
there was mostly
And
a
you had-
standard rule.
And the standard
throughout.
rule was enforced by all adults.
So do
now
what?
people just have their own little world that they live in,
Right.
and you're not allowed to say, "Hey, child, I don't know, but I see behaving in a way
So
that
that's
is not."
the absence of community
But
standard.
you can't tell that. I can't look at that mom
because
and be like,
the
"Yo,
mom will
get
be
your-"
like, "That's my effing child.
Exactly.
I'm
now
going to
it's-
parent
it's-
him or her the way that I want to."
and that's why
raise
we
your
have
own
no,
child.
no real communal discipline.
Would you like a really
with
brief
adults
story?
now as well.
Really brief story.
And I just realized, believe it or not, we have 20 minutes left, and I want a goddamn magic trick out of this man. so
Well,
we better
yeah,
wrap it
yeah,
I'm
up.
just trying to change the subject.
You'll have to hold on for a second. So I'm in the airport yesterday, right? Standing in line to get on the airport. White family, little blonde boy, and I mean platinum blonde hair, right?
Oh, like
Older
when I was a
brother.
kid.
He might have been 6 or 7. Older brother's 10 or so, right? 2 parents. The youngest, with the platinum blonde hair, is singing along with whatever they're playing and he's nailing it. I'm a music lover, as you are. I say to him, man, you're going to be a star. And you, older brother, you're going to have to watch him. You're going to have to be his lawyer and his bodyguard. And if you'd have seen the look of offense
From the parents.
that I would dare to speak to their oldest child about their youngest child's talent. That's your illustration of how there's no more community.
Nope.
It's all just what's good for me and what I can get out of it. And I laughed to myself all the way onto the plane. I was so glad to interrupt their concept of, what they think their world is, because you can't live in the world by yourself.
Well, they probably thought you were a pedophile talking about the little one.
I don't think they thought that for a second. I thought they said, who is this fucking black guy speaking to my child? That's what they thought. I could see it on their face. And I'm like, I'm the black child who knows more about him than you do, because you ain't paying no attention to him.
What part of the country was this?
California.
No, I can't
was
tell you whether.
Colorado.
I can't tell you whether it was. I think it was in Chicago. It was on the way out, actually. So it was on Chicago on my way to LA. Right. But my point is, in an airport, it doesn't matter where it's from. Everybody's traveling. But the fact of the matter is that here I am in 2025, And a family had the nerve to be offended that I spoke to their child.
Now, do you think it was because of color or because of
Absolutely. Because we raise our Americans on the racial divide.
Here we go. We're going in another direction with this thing.
It's all the same direction. It's
15
all
minutes, Mark.
made up
Yeah, it's going to be the
bullshit.
next podcast.
But I do want to
It's
hear.
all made up bullshit. Tall and short and young and old and male and female and all. It's all made up bullshit.
Will you be able to see things 30 years from now where things, I mean, we're all going to be,
I'll be
Colorful.
dead in 30 years.
I'm not sure
We
it's
should
true.
be.
We've had 400 years to blend
I
this.
agreed.
Let me tell you something. If Americans were smart, every white person who owned a slave would have had 5 babies by that slave. And 3 generations later, we'd be the biggest, strongest, smartest, richest people on the face of the earth forever.
And the most beautiful.
You understand what
Genes
I'm
are
saying?
stronger
Right?
when you
Because
spread them apart.
That's the way human beings are designed. I laugh when people raise the question of race. And these days, y'all know I say, okay, well, if all human beings originated in Africa, if the Moors occupied Spain for 700 years, if Hannibal of Carthage was in Italy, then Rome, for 20 years, if the only European food that we celebrate is either Spanish or Italian with a little bit of French, what are y'all missing? Okay? But because color has been used as a tool to make a few people wealthy,
well, being reused now, reactivated.
it has never stopped being used as a tool to keep people separate so that a few people could stay wealthy. Because you know and you know and you know and I know at the neighborhood level, my next door neighbor, Tommy Delaventura, who's the first kid who taught me how to strike a match when I was 12, was my client 2 years ago before he died. Right? At the neighborhood level, color doesn't mean shit. Race doesn't mean shit. Gender means nothing. That's that chick who beat me up when I was 12, and I can't wait to marry her when I'm 22.
Well, since you went there,
Go ahead.
even in juvenile hall, that was always brings back to something I remember. They say that you work in Bucks County and you're locked up. Delete that part on the podcast. And I was like, so are all the kids black? And it's like,
No.
no, assholes come in all colors.
There you go.
Now look around your neighborhood. I don't know if you're in the lower end, middle end, central, whatever it is. Look around. Your neighbor's the one ripping you off.
That's it.
Like, but for some reason they vilify the color. And when you look at it, but the
Because-
cool thing was when you do it, when you do like a development of Bucks County itself outside Philadelphia, when you looked at it, let's just say at the time, 18% of the county was black. And one day I did a spot check around the whole entire building. We get about 500 kids a year, give or take. At that time, about 15% of the kids were black, 20% of the kids were black. And you go, so look around. Yeah, it's not somebody coming to your neighborhood to take your stuff. Look around at your own neighbor.
But I think
But
that
why?
has-
But why label it like that?
But that has to do with the fact that
fear.
the rich population has the money to pay off.
To control,
Can I
there's two
give
things.
you?
They can pay off for their kids' benefit, and they can control the narrative about the other kids.
And you know what?
Or afford.
Your
Not even pay
little
off, it's
kid
all
is
afford.
your
Yeah.
little kid is going to be a bigger asshole because you did it, because you paid them off. Let you do the crime, you do the time. Whether you're black, white, Asian, male, female, trans, gay, straight.
3 more, quick.
You walk on your hands. I don't give a shit.
The challenge is this. Capitalism has provided the most tremendous advances in technology in the history of humankind, subject to whoever they built the pyramids. I still can't figure that shit out. But other than that, right? Capitalism, the idea of if you figure out a better way and you can sell it to a bunch of people, you get to be bigger than other people, right? That motivation has resulted in planes, trains, and automobiles, great televisions, all that kind of stuff. But the flip side is also true. If I've made $1 million, I want $1 billion. And if I've made $1 billion, I want $500 billion. And if it means that I have to buy off my mayor or my senator or my governor or my president in order to get the influence that gets me the opportunity to cheat other people in order to get the extra $1 billion, I'll do that because that's what capitalism is. It's the ultimate competition. I'm not knocking capitalism, don't get me wrong. But the idea of a democratic society is that the democracy stands as a bulwark. And a
Sorry, I'm laughing.
limitation.
It's a great speech, but I'm listening to Democratic and I'm thinking like, I didn't realize half the people, well, we don't agree. Half the people are stupid, half the people aren't.
And how'd that
It's
happen?
incredible how 50-50 everything is.
How
right
did that
now.
happen? I'll tell you exactly how it happened. I was in Washington, D.C. at a federal communications-based law firm when the fairness doctrine was torpedoed. And that's why you have a Fox News and a CNN opposing each other, as opposed to Walter Cronkite and David Brinkley and everybody giving the same news as it had been for the previous 100 years. So we sold our soul, and now we're reaping the fruit.
Well, here's my contribution to saving some souls. We talked about getting kids off their devices because they're no longer socialized. I think this is a Rick theory that you're also going to see the where there's more kids with ADHD now, which also fuels the pharma. I think we have adults now that are ADHD. That we have children now are ADHD, and that's only because you're on your device every 7 seconds, every 20 seconds, every minutes. We're no longer focused on anything. I actually try and manage that myself.
I'm just thrilled to know that there is such a thing as a Rick theory. Because when I came into this interview, I didn't know.
Now we know.
Now
Well, that's
there's a
just
theory.
one Rick
File
theory.
it.
I will-
File
I
it
got-
away
I
under
got-
Rick theory.
We're going to have to dig out
Rick
some
theory
more
that
Rick
heroin
theories.
addiction is similar to media addiction, and ADHD is going to end up being linked to these devices. And you'll
Oh,
see that,
absolutely,
and you'll see
yeah.
that in the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistical Manual under Psychological Services. It's going to appear. That's my prediction. You can come back here, in the future when this podcast takes off and we have a TV show, and we'll be like, "Look, it's right. It's true."
Well, we're definitely bringing you back because I feel like
There's
this,
a lot more.
we have a lot
A
more.
lot
and
more.
we previous guests don't listen. We say that to every previous guest that we've had.
But we've
I
had great
actually
guests.
mean
We've
it.
had great
I
guests.
actually mean it with him. I need
We've
there's
had
more.
great guests. We've had several good guests. But you've helped us get to a point that we haven't previously gotten to.
Yeah, agreed.
Which is like fundamental society stuff. We started this with
We
the
all have
proposition.
more to say. I
Right?
think.
The proposition was we don't talk about politics because my political views are different. I would say moderate. We disagree all the time.
We have no business being.
But if you're
recognized.
No,
quiet,
but
if you're
we-
quiet, you're complicit.
but
That's
we are-
That's another Rick
but
theory.
at the
If you're
end of
quiet,
the
you're
day-
complicit.
At the end of the day, we have different views, but we still love each other,
Their empathy for each other exceeds their differences.
which is what the world needs. You could argue that this pillow is red, and you could say it's kind of orange,
Mm-hmm.
and we could argue that all day,
Mhm.
and then hug each other and say,
Yeah.
"I love you." Okay, we're gonna go home.
Yeah, it is. It is,
And
very
that's
true.
it.
And we have gotten into arguments. And,
We have.
and absolutely, like I've said some. I'm the mean one out of the two of us,
Which is
but-
crazy.
I know, but that's in that sphere is where I get really mean. But it's true. But no, it's never because for me with you, it's not part of your identity. Truly, as far as I'm concerned. In my
You see me
relationship
every
with
day.
you. Every day.
I'm not different to
No.
anyone. My views are my views. I'm not going to spew them to the
That's true.
world to make sure that you need to follow what I do because this is the right way.
I
It's
should
the
like and
path
subscribe
of
to you right here.
life.
I should like and subscribe to you right here in person.
You should.
I like and subscribe
There
to
you
you
go.
in person.
There
There
It is not, and that's what people need. Like, and that's part of social media issues.
Yeah.
That, which is ironic because we're doing it right now.
I know,
we're doing-
but it's
It's okay.
It's
it's
not
a medium.
unfortunate.
It's a medium,
Let
not
me-
a method.
So here's the part. So the real theme of the show is a lawyer walks into the bar, and this is the bar, and I'm the lawyer. Right?
Well, I'm gonna. I also wrote down before I got here top 5 reasons I shouldn't appear on this podcast. With
There
the
are none.
lawyer.
There are none.
First one was I'm going to say something stupid, so let the countdown begin.
Okay.
So I hope I fulfilled
You
that.
did
the other,
not.
The other one was Mark should have known better than to invite me to a podcast like this.
I knew
That was-
exactly what I was
That's
doing.
number 2. 3, I should hold out for Mark's first movie production rather than the podcast.
That will be a long wait. This has taken 10 years so far.
This is taking 10.
Yeah.
And I guess, number 4, and I'll leave it at that. You can fill in number 5. Whatever I say can and will be held against me. And
In a
now it's
court of
recorded.
It is recorded. But
We
all
edit.
jokes aside, I will tell you, you have been one of the most engaging guests that
Absolutely.
we've had because you put stuff out there, and the stuff you put out there was based on actual personal observation over decades.
Ah.
So I really appreciate that.
Well, speaking of decades, the legend continues. You can see magician Rick Vale on the Ocean City Boardwalk
Okay.
as the legend continues.
Can we do?
And with our
can we do a
remaining
trick?
5 minutes.
Well, and the reason I do the boardwalk, it's almost to counterbalance all this negativity,
Yeah.
and the horrible or the stuff I do deal with.
Yeah.
You'll never see a magic trick in detention. You'll never see them when they're locked up. They don't get to see that guy.
Right.
Okay.
That's the guy who when you use people for therapy in a good way versus having to see kids there, and it would be great. It would be very engaging, but I'm not there to be engaging with them. I'm there to try and make change, and I don't need to be your friend. I need to see something different. Some kind of change if you can. So, oh my God, look, you guys just looking at me. I'm being stared at. All right. How much time do we have?
we have
None.
We have
we have 5 minutes.
We have 4 minutes and change.
4 minutes and change?
Yep.
Uh-oh, here comes the magic trick. You ready?
All right.
I was told I was meeting a magician, and then
No,
all of a
we shouldn't
sudden
be
we
able
get
to-
into like this
Okay,
huge thing.
good.
All right,
Wendy
John, come
and
in
Elaine.
here.
It's Elaine. Is that what it is? Elaine?
Wendy and Emily.
and
Hold on.
who?
Can we run that back and actually just say Wendy instead?
Wendy and who?
Emily.
Emily. Wendy and Emily.
We're doing
Are we still
a
recording?
magic trick.
Oh, okay. You guys still recording?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
5
4
more
minutes
minutes.
left.
5 more minutes. So we're going to do this. It's going to be the 1 minute challenge.
And you can
Okay.
do this
Okay,
in
we're going
time.
to try and do this.
I think you have to make our producer pick the card. I think.
Well, that would be your show, and say it has to be mine for right now. So I don't know what to do.
wow.
Okay. So it is Christmas time. We're going to try and do something real fast. I thought of this on the way here. What name do you want to go by today?
I'm Emily.
She's actually
And you
Emily all
are
the time.
Wendy.
Which is not really Wendy, and we could be really Emily. We don't know. First off, I prefer that the magician gets the credits, not the cards, because we have time. We're actually doing it. Is that a real countdown right there?
Yep.
Okay.
You have
Here's
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
3 minutes and 30 seconds. It's going to be a 2-minute card trick, I hope. What you're both going to do is just say stop.
good.
Just say stop when you get down through the deck. Just say stop.
Okay.
Okay, I started. That's where you need to be. Before I get to the bottom, just say stop.
Stop.
A little bit faster. I'll slow it down. Here we go.
Stop.
I didn't do anything.
Oh
I just
my
leaned
God.
forward. Here, just wait. Just we'll go. I'll slow it down.
Stop.
Okay, we have time. We have to look at this. Here, take a look at the card. You stopped at. You stopped at the card. Take that card. Okay, you have that there. Mark, how you doing over there?
I'm good.
It's Christmas time, isn't
It
it?
is.
Yeah, and I make stuff up on the fly. So this is going to be. It's not really a gift, but it's going to be part of the effect.
Okay.
All right, you two, look at that card. Memorize that card.
got it.
Do you have that card?
I'm on it.
Okay, we actually put the card back here. Mark, on the table right now, we have a box. We have a bag.
Yes.
Can he come forward, or do I have to push it over
can.
to you? Like, what happened?
No, you can.
Okay, right over there. Take a look. What do you see in there?
I see a box.
A box. Okay, good. Here's what we're going to do. It's going to be a little race. How much time do we have?
We have
Couple minutes.
3 minutes.
couple-
3
3
minutes.
minutes.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
2 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, right here. We have a deck. Do you remember the card that you picked? Okay, Mark, a bag. Inside that bag, there's going to be something else. What we're going to do is take this. Ladies, you're going to have to lean forward. You have your card. What I'm going to ask you to do when I say go, you're going to try and find your card, and that you're going to find your card in that deck.
tell
Not
you.
just going to try. You're going to go through there. Go through each one. Mark, your job is going to be to take the things out of the bag. What we're going to try and do this in 1 minute. By the time you get to 1 minute, you should have that deck spread in front of you out of there, and we're going to see if we can try and predict what's going to happen next. So not yet, Mark. We didn't say go. So we're going to go countdown. How much time do we have?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Ready? Everybody go. Go through each one of those cards. Find the card that you selected, whatever card that name might be. Mark, very slowly. Mark just took a box out of a bag, and then he has in there a box right now, and there is some duct tape actually sealing that box shut right now. Ladies are going through the cards right now. If you can put them down the table, too. Spread them down here on the table looking for your card right now. Mark starts to open up he's pulling back the duct tape. He has a box. And Mark, what's inside that box as you open that up? What do you have inside that box?
It appears to be possibly.
Oh, a possible present, a package, or something like that. Come on, keep going. We have like 40 seconds. Mark, you need to go a little bit faster. Possibly, you can watch the clock. Mark says something like that. Mark, what do you have inside that brown bag?
Looks like it could
It's
be a deck
something.
of cards.
Tissue paper. That's very good, ladies. Look for your card. Pull your card out.
We
Pull it
did.
up when you
It's
get
not
it.
there.
Double check right there. It should be there. It should be signed. It's going to be a different color or something like that. Mark's going through. Mark, what do you have inside that white
have
tissue
a deck
paper?
of cards
Down
with
the white
40
tissue
minutes
paper.
to go.
Okay, here's a deck of cards. Mark, open that deck of cards right there,
Okay.
ladies. Well, think of your card. Is it a red card? Look for it in there.
I am.
It's a red card. Look for that in there. Mark, you start to open up a deck of cards right there.
Yeah.
We have just a little bit more time. Mark, come a little bit forward. What do we have? Okay, deck of cards right
I have
there.
a deck
Leaning
of
forward.
cards.
Keep coming forward. Is that going to be on camera? I don't know. All right, Mark. All right, ladies, name your card out loud.
Six
of hearts.
Okay, pick it up off the table.
It's not on
It's
there.
not in there. I
That's
have
a
6 of
problem. Mark,
diamonds.
okay, continue. Mark, start to spread through the deck right there. See what we.
I'm
When you get to the 6 of hearts, stop. If you see the 6 of hearts, there's no 6 of hearts in this deck right
There's
here.
not.
I don't know what we have over there.
There's no 6
Mark,
of hearts
Mark
there.
keep going through the deck there, Mark. Anything. Let me see that deck right there.
Sure.
Going right into here. No six of hearts here.
No, I didn't see a 6 of hearts.
Mark, did you look?
I thought I looked.
Did you look hard?
I'm
Mark, right here. Okay, do you see one card down there? Wait a second, Mark. There happens to be a 6 of hearts here.
Out of order.
Okay, can you see that? It's out of
clearly
order.
out of
Mark,
order.
right
Yes.
here. There's one 6 of hearts. That was your card? You
Yes,
said?
it was.
Okay, one card. We have all these cards right here. Mark, the color of these cards.
They're all black.
One right here. How about one card right here? Card,
Oh!
how about the 6 of hearts over here? It wasn't going to be
Son
there.
of a bitch.
It was never going to be there, and I knew it.
Merry
It took me
Christmas and Happy New Year from Magician Rick
Thank
Vale
you.
and the other guy. Well done.